Well, good afternoon, everyone. And I just wanted to come on here and talk for a moment about the cave. I got my liberation, a little bit of my freedom, and I want to make sure I come on here and share it as well with the audience because it's so when you toss a rock in the middle of a pond, and the ripple that goes in, it just creates all these different ripples that goes out all the way around the world everywhere, right? And it constantly reaches the next destination of effect. Like that one ripple in which you receive does not mean that, you're going to be the main source that's going to affect others, but it's the ripples that continue to develop because of the change or, that you affect and what it is that you share. So that's what I'm doing right now. So the cave. This is something that came out of the esoteric training or esoteric conversation that we had with ATSJR companies on this Thursday, June 10th, in case you want to go back and review, because it was very, very freeing for me. The whole call was awesome. They always are. But so the cave. He mentioned something about the hero's journey. I copied it. I'm gonna have to come back to it, but if you can YouTube it, check it out because I plan on doing the same thing today. Just wanted to make sure I shared that. But he said, it is only in the cave you are afraid to enter that you get the treasure that changes the rest of your life. It is only in the cave that you are afraid to enter that you get the treasure that changes the rest of your life. So I wanted to pose a question like, what is your cave? Like, what's the cave that you're afraid to enter into? Like, where is it that you're afraid to go that's keeping you from getting the abundance and all that God has placed within you to receive? Is your cave embarrassment? Is it lack of self-esteem, lack of value, self-worth, lack of trust? Is it that you just simply don't believe that you deserve to be seen or heard or in a position that puts you in place of leading others? Are you in the mindset that you can't lead or be followed? Like, what is your cave? And he was saying it's like when you're dying for it in a place you said you never go to, you have to face like your fears. That's when you will pretty much receive all the abundance that's coming to you. And in that place, you will lose everything that you're trying to protect. So like if you're trying to protect your self-image, if you're trying to protect this good personality that you've allowed everybody to resonate you with, if you're sorry, sinus is running and my daughter's playing Fortnite in the background, but that's okay because we allow ourselves. You don't have to apologize, baby. You're fine. But you're going to lose everything that you're trying to protect in order to get your breakthrough that you so need so that you can come out and be the best version of yourself that you can be, so that you can establish or esteem to the highest version of you. You know what I mean? It's like you have to ascend from where you are to the next level. And what's keeping you and holding you back is the fact that you refuse to enter into that cave out of fear to get your treasure. So what is your cave? Think about that. And like I tell you all the time, get you a journal, write it down, either use pen, pencil, whatever it is, keep your eraser so that you can continue to fix the design of how you want it to be and how you want to see it. But he was saying either your breakthrough, either you can't hold them both in your hands, right? You can either have your breakthrough or you can protect that which you not want to lose. Because what God has given you, it's going to take both hands to hold on to it and pull yourself up or remain in that place holding on to what it is that you already have that you don't really like and don't want no more. Where is your cave? Where does your treasure lie? Some of us are going to lose relationships with our parents as much as we love them. They can be that very thing that's saying, hey, don't go into that cave. That's not safe for you. If you branch out and you go into this new dream thing, you're going to come out on the side. You're not going to succeed. You're not going to be all right. So stay where you are. And some of them is out of love and wanting to protect you and wanting to keep you, in a safe place. Others is out of the fact of their own fear that they're not sure they can save you and help you when you get to a certain place. And then you might even have people like friends, associates that you've outgrown that once you leave and you elevate, they no longer have a companion. So why allow you to go forth and speak into you? He also mentioned about how some of these things, like we attract people into our lives and these relationships into our lives, you know what I mean? Because we have a desire to be in alignment with our purpose. But don't let your alignment become an attachment. A lot of times we attract our exes or previous relationships into our life before. We're like, oh my God, this person reminds me so much of. Why? Because you hadn't let go of them. You hadn't completely forgiven them for the things that they did, or forgiven yourself for the things not going right. Always find a way to be in alignment with source, alignment with God as to the purpose that you have in your life. But where is your cave? What's keeping you from being in alignment? What is it that's knocking you off of your place that is literally keeping you from elevating and ascending to the highest version of yourself? It could be anything. So God, God will get you where you're going, even if in your mind you don't think you deserve to be there. Even if you don't deserve to be there. Like I said, you're gonna lose everything you're supposed to be. My bad. I hit a button. Oh, and it's like he's like, another thing is like no matter what you're going into, it's like you don't have to be completely perfect going in the direction you're supposed to go. Some of the greatest discoveries came from unplanned, unperfect actions. Like you don't have to see the end of the road or see the entire blueprint in order to start the building. And you don't have to have your thought completely thought out in order for it to succeed. Just start someplace. Everything else would come as you go. God sometimes puts it in a position like of strain to stretch us, to make us grow. Because it's in those opportunities where we're in a position where things are hard that we come up with the best ideas as to how to get away from this pain. So go through the pain, figure out how to enjoy while you're in it, and find the ideas that God wants you to develop so that He can continue to use you. None of us is too far gone. As long as we're still living, breathing here on this planet Earth, can be away from God using you. God will use you right where you are, as you are. And if change needs to happen, and you're the one that decides that, He'll allow you to change as well. But you have to see it. Don't wait until everything is perfect to take the step, man. Get to walk in the day. So another thing that was mentioned was when it comes down to a lot of us are empaths, are healers, are those people that, you know, you can see another person, you can feel their pain, you can reach out to them and all of a sudden they're happy. It's not necessarily for us to heal them, but to remind them of how they heal themselves. You can speak a kind word that enacts the God within them, that says that kind word is already in me. I can heal the person within. I can have my inner strength to work best for me. So those empaths and healers that are holding on to the strengths and the pains of others, release that thing. That's not for you. When they get healed and they're happy, that's because the inner them woke up to realizing I can heal me. But it was your influence by all means and God's use of you, but not for you to hold on to that thing that they were hurting from. That's not what God meant for you. Regain your own strength and your own healing. Don't hold on to another person's pain. That's not at all what God meant for you. But it's like when, you know, you present the opportunity for them to heal themselves and awaken the healer within them. I thought that was powerful too. Forgiveness stops the wheel of karma. And God has never placed you in anything where it would hurt you. Most of the time, it's our own perception that identifies the pain and the hurt and what we're going through. It's our perception. God loves us too much to put us in a place where He would allow us to keep being hurt. I had to ask myself the question because I deal a lot of times when it comes down to like the self-worth, the self-identity, self-love. You know what I mean? It's like I understand that God is in me. And no matter where I go or decisions that I make, is God making them. But if I don't love myself enough to understand that certain things, you know, that I go into, even though it's in the support of others to make them feel loved, I shouldn't. God is still using me and He's still putting me in those places to do those things. But it's literally my choice in how I allow God to vibrate within me, or how I vibrate at the level of God, so to speak. God's not putting me in any place to be unloved. to be unvalued, to be unworthy, or not have people, see my worth, to not have people see my value. Like if you're in a place, for me, Tyranny, when you find yourself in a position where the people around you don't value you for what you bring and what you have to offer, or they don't love you according to the design that makes you feel a part of that unity or a part of anything, it's not always that God has put you there. Sometimes you're choosing to exist in a place that God doesn't say is for you to reign. Figure out what it is that God has for you in that place. Become God's vessel. Service first, but at the same time, if it's causing you pain, you might be remaining in that place longer than you were supposed to. It may be time to check out, and it's okay. You don't need anybody's permission for God to move you. You don't even have to let them know. You don't even have to enlighten anybody of what God is doing, because God will be God no matter come what may or wherever we are. Don't let yourself be used, misused, abused. Always get exactly what it is that you want, because God says you can have everything. God's not going to deprive himself of anything. So if God is in you and you're somewhere where you're not getting what you need and that you see, your perception. I'm not going to dictate to another person how they should think. But as for me, so if you feel like you're not supposed to be somewhere, then remove yourself from it, but be prepared to deal with, the alignment as it continues on. There was something else that was mentioned, but I'll bring that up at another time. The biggest thing that really got me, that spoke so much to me, I'm gonna have to check out the Hero's Journey. It was recommended, and I think Cindy put the information up, but I didn't. I took a picture of it, so I have to get it out later. But it's like, it is only in a cave that you are afraid to enter that you get the treasure that changes the rest of your life. Get rid of the ego, the pride. I just want to ask you, so where is your cave today? Where is your treasure lying, waiting on you to enter in and to go into that place and get all the things that you desire? It's going to take dying from you, or at least who you've known yourself to be. All those things that you have protected, that God has told you to let go of and put behind you, God will also raise up in a time when it's meant for you to receive as well. But you got to trust in God, and you have to trust in the God in you. It's okay to make a decision, to take a step without consulting with the next person. God don't make no mistakes. And the God that lives in you says that when you make an action according to the highest version of yourself, you're not going to make no mistake either. Just act, just do, just go. Where does your treasure lie? Go into that cave, get rid of the ego, get rid of the pride, and get exactly that which you have asked God for, because he's come to give you all these things. Never told you no, never deprived you. Make sure you realign your perception of where you are so that you can understand and see what it is that God is doing with you. Because he's always been with you every step of the way. So that's been my minute. Monique Tyranny of Superlative You. Are you being superlative you? If not, align yourself with where it is that you're going, the future version of yourself that you see. Ask as many questions as you need of that person so that you can get aligned with where you should be right now to get to where you're going. So y'all have a blessed day. Take care of yourself, and yeah, wonderful moments.